about this a little bit. We tried several of them, and it's in general not a good idea. There ends up being too many other change orders, things we get into that we didn't anticipate. When you take the boards off, if you have a wood deck and you want to take the wood boards off and come back with a composite, the only way it works is if it's a fairly new deck or it's a very, very well-maintained deck. Because what you're doing is you're taking those deck boards off, and a lot of times you can't back all the screws out, so they break off, you rip them off, and it damages the joists underneath. And in some cases, you got holes in your joist and you're trying to screw the new boards in. It just, it creates an environment of uncertainty for the installer. And so then it's gonna take us longer. What I tell customers, it's probably, I don't know what the cost is. I tell them it's around 90%. Sometimes it can be the same cost as if we tore it down and put another one up, because you've already got the locations for the posts. You already have a lot of the stuff there. If you're gonna build an in-kind replacement, it's almost as cheap to rebuild it all that it is to piecemeal it, taking it apart and putting it back together. All because of the unknown. When you take the deck boards off, you might have to replace joists and ram them in there and fight it to get them in there, fight it getting it off, and then deal with any damage that was done in removing the deck boards. They don't come off as easy as you might think in some cases. So, and it's all a crapshoot. It really is. Every single one, again, is different. So, our policy is to not do that anymore. We want to just reskin a deck unless it's we've done a couple that was a 3-year-old deck or something like that. They bought a house and it had a wood deck on it. They're like, hey, I got this awesome house, and they just put a wood deck on it. It was in brand new condition. We could back out all the screws. We could do a lot of things and really reduce the variables to be able to put the composite back on top. Definitely, you're not going to have any safety issues from one to the next. If it was, we won't build it. We won't do the job if we believe it's going to be unsafe for you, the customer, afterwards. But I would say if you reskin a deck, meaning if you put composite on, we typically don't have our warranty that we typically give, our installation warranty, because we're using existing wood that we don't know where it came from, that there's holes in it already from the prior installation. There's a lot of different stuff. We can't check the integrity of every single one down to a T. So it really makes it hard for us to warrant our work, other than the boards we affixed at the top, the new boards. So there's just a lot of variables there, and you can expect, hopefully you don't have any change orders, but we would reserve the right to have a change order based on an extenuating circumstance that arose because of a retrofitted deck.